multiple real time scenarios that we are going to discuss as part of this course actually. It entirely focuses on real-time knowledge. Okay, so but this course is also suitable for the certification of Kubernetes if you are planning to. Okay, so and the three, I think Monday, Tuesday, the two demo classes got completed, right? The Monday and Tuesday, and we have discussed the in the first demo class we have discussed about the syllabus, what we are going through actually. And in the second demo class, we have discussed about the what is DevOps, what is an application, what is a server, what is a physical server, what is the difference between physical server and the virtual server, and what are the advantage, what are the disadvantages that you have if you deploy your applications directly on the physical server, right? And because of those disadvantages, why the virtualization has been evolved, what are the use of virtualization, and what are the disadvantages that we have virtual in the what are the disadvantages that we have with the help of with virtualization, right? So and what is the evolution of Docker? Because of what reason the Docker is evolved? Because of the evolution of microservices as well as the disadvantages with the virtualization. So all these things we have seen in the previous class, and also we have seen the microservices and the monolithic application. What the differences because of the many reasons, because of the many disadvantages that we have with respect to the monolithic application. What is monolithic application also we have seen, and what are the microservices also we have seen, and how the microservices are going to convert into Docker images also we have seen. Actually, we need to see in depth, but yeah, as an overall idea, we have seen. Okay, so these are all the parts we have seen in the future in the previous demo classes. And today, what I'm going to show you how the Docker is where we are going to install Docker as part of the diagram, and I'm going to show you that. I hope my screen should be visible soon. Yeah, I think my screen is visible, right? Let me open the paint actually. So go here and let me take this to this side, the other screen. Uh, is here. Let me take this one here. Yeah, you see that this is also one of the scenario we're going to see in our sessions. Uh, Managing Kubernetes secrets with AWS Secrets Manager, secrets of CSA driver. So like that, many real-time scenarios, it's very helpful for you for cracking interviews with respect to Kubernetes, Docker, and Jenkins and AWS. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, let me click on File, New. Let me open a new document. Okay, now how we are going to install Docker is something like this. We will be having physical machine again. See, underneath you will be having physical machine, whatever. Okay, what is that? Someone put something in chat. Increase the resolution. Resolution. How it's visible for you? I think it's proper actually. Anyone have any problems other than any screen related problems? Screen is visible properly.
Not screens, like whenever you will type something in this uh,
Uh-huh.
white screen, though, so it is less visible. It's small. So
Oh, okay, okay. While typing, I'll include, so no problem. Okay. So this is going to be the uh, physical machine. I think it's good, right? It's a font is big.
yes,
Physical, yeah, physical machine, right? So this is going to the physical machine that you are going to have. And what you're going to do, you will be having again same in the last diagram, you will be having the operating system, right? On top of this, you'll be having the virtualization software, same again, right? And on top of this, you will be having servers. Virtualization software will help us to create multiple servers, something like this. These are nothing but virtual servers. I'm drawing only one servers. Please imagine that we will be having multiple servers on this based on the capacity of this physical machine, right? So let me make this something like this dot space right dot space dot. Okay. Yeah, we have multiple virtual servers. These are called virtual servers. In case of EC2 terminology, we we'll call this as EC2 machines. AWS terminology, we call it as EC2 machines. virtual servers or virtual machines, whatever, Docker host, whatever you call it as, it refers to the same meaning. Okay, so that's what you need to understand here. Okay, so this is until here we have discussed in the yesterday's class. This is a virtual machine. Now what we are going to do is, when you create this virtual machine in the AWS, we are going to create this virtual machine as part of the AWS account. Okay, when you create this virtual machine in the AWS account, you, while creating the virtual machine or the EC2 machine, you will be asked to select the operating system. Okay, we are going to see that in a from the UI. Do not worry about that. But yeah, there will be an operating system on this particular virtual machine. Okay, it, and on top of this operating system, you are going to install Docker. Okay, on top of this operating system, you are going to install Docker. This is where you are going to install Docker on your real time. That means underneath there will be a physical machine that you are not going to manage, that AWS people is going to manage with respect to our course. Okay, and on the top of that, operating system will be there. It is not responsible for us to maintain this. And the on top of this operating system on a physical machine, we will be having our virtualization software, and we are not responsible for that. AWS is doing that entire physical machine. Maintenance is done by the AWS people, not us. We are going to pay for them for that, right? So on top of this, we are going to create this virtualization, virtual machines. We are responsible, right? On top of this, we are going to create a virtual machine inside this physical machine, right? So inside this virtual machine, we are going to have operating system layer at the bottom. And on top of that, we are going to have the Docker installed on it. We are going to install Docker on it. Okay. Mostly in industry, people uses Linux operating systems, Linux flavors or the Unix flavors. It might be the Ubuntu, it might be the Linux, it might be the Red Hat, it might be the SUSE, whatever the operating system it is, it should be the Unix operating system, flavor operating system. Okay, it is kind of a Linux. Okay, it's a Linux operating system mainly. You need to understand, because Linux is fast and secure operating system with which you will be able to deploying applications. Actually, okay, people uses most of the people, we have our customers in our company who uses Windows also, but most of the people uses Linux operating systems in order to deploy their applications until they have specific requirements to use Windows machines. Okay, so we are going to entirely focus on Linux way, not the Windows way. Okay, so because we need to match our sessions with the real time, so that's the thing. Okay, now here on top of this Docker, we are going to run our containers. Do not worry what is containers and all, we are going to discuss. Do not worry about that. And there, so we will be running containers on this actually. So now let's go to, this is how the Docker is structured. Okay, on top of physical machine, operating system, hypervisor, that means virtual software, and the virtual machine, operating system again inside that, and the Docker is installed. Okay, on top of that, we are going to create a containers. What is container? And we are going to see in the future. Okay, any questions? The structure of this Docker, where we are going to install, any questions anyone has, please? Is that good? Is that understood for everyone? Where we are going to install Docker actually? Yes. What about others? Please do reply. Yes, yes. Okay. Please do ask the questions if you did not get the points. Okay. If you are unable to talk, please do post your questions in the chat. I am regularly viewing the questions which you have posted in the chat. Okay. So that's the thing. Now, let me go to the AWS point of site. Let me go here to this place. Okay, so this is the, let me increase the font here also. Do not worry about that. 1 second, let me go here and from this. Okay, so let me increase the font here. I think it's proper, but yeah, let me increase still. Okay, now what you need to do, you need to first create an account. Okay, when you go to aws.amazon.com, you need to go to the website called aws.amazon.com. If you are visiting this website for the first time, you will be seeing sign up option here directly. Okay, you see that I'm seeing the sign into the console, but if you are visiting for the first time, you will be seeing sign up option directly. You need to click on this sign up option here. Okay. And you can directly go to the sign up page here, but I am going to here because create new AWS account. Just want to show you there. Okay, just I'm clicking on this create new AWS account. Let me increase the font this page. I don't know why the font is being decreasing. If you switch the pages, okay, you see that here it is going to ask you the email address, and it is going to ask you the account name, and you can give whatever the account name you want. I mean, okay. So, and you should click on this verify email address, and you are going to get an email to your email address, this one, which you have entered here to verify for the verification. Please do verify that. And there are 5 to 6 steps. They are going to ask you the information of your username, password, confirm password, and some of the information of the address. Okay. And they are going to ask you the some other details as part of this creation of the AWS account. Do not worry about this. Please do proceed. It is as simple as creating your Instagram accounts. Okay. It is as simple as creating your Instagram or Facebook accounts. Okay. As I do not have unique email address, I have used all email addresses to create my AWS account. I am unable to move forward from this place actually. Okay. If you have any questions, any doubts while creating your AWS account, I'm there. You will be sorry, you will be getting the help. Okay, so I'll be please help me with the info that you are unable to create an AWS account, at which step you are failing. Okay, I will be joining with you on the call. I will be joining with you on the call, and you will be uh, helped from that particular place actually. Okay, so this Andeep. Okay, Amandeep is saying that if you want, you can use my Gmail account. Yeah, yeah. If I use your Gmail account, that's fine, but I cannot show you the verification, right? So you are going to get for that email a verification link. Okay, so that verification link only visible to you because you are unable to share the screen. And it is visible to you only. You should verify, and I will be showing only half of half of things. Actually, I'm not going to show. I'm unable to show the full creation of the AWS account. That is the reason I'm saying. Uh, please do create it. It is very easy. The important step in creation of the AWS account also I need to mention. They are going to ask you the your bank account details. Okay, because it's a trusted entity. AWS is a trusted entity. Do not uh, uh, think that way. And it's a trusted entity. It is going to debit 2 rupees from your AWS, sorry, from your account, and recredit it back to your account after the account is been created, because they are going to debit because of the verification whether you are the right person or not. That's the thing. That's entirely the case. Okay. So once you have created an AWS account, AWS people mentions that your account is going to be activated within next 24 hours. But that is a maximum amount of time that they are going to take in order to activate your account. But you can access the account immediately after the creation of account without any problem. Okay. So that's what the thing is. Okay, that's what the thing is actually. Once you have entered your account details in the respective place while creating your account, do not think that they are going to automatically debit a lot of amounts of money from your account. They are not going to do until you pay from your account actually, because I have much experience with this AWS. Okay, please do remember that. Do not worry about entering your account details there. Please do that for creation of the AWS account actually. Okay, now Once you have created the AWS account, you need to click on sign in to the existing AWS account. You need to go to the sign in page. Okay. And you need to go to, there are two types of users. IAM user sign in. Okay. IAM user sign in and sign in using root email address. Okay. You should use sign in using root email address, but not IAM user. Please do remember, first, if you are first time using the AWS cloud, you need to sign in with using root user, not the IAM user. Just click on this root user, sign in root user, and enter the email address that you have selected, that you have entered while creating your AWS account. Okay, let me enter my email address. Okay. Okay, now let me click on enter. Okay, sorry, I think the wrong email address I've entered. Sorry for that. Let me go back to this. Let's sign into the root email address. This is the email address I need to enter. And let me click on next. And I need to enter the 85ST7. What is that last? F. Okay. 7F. Okay, so that's the thing. Let me click on submit. Okay, it is asking you to enter the password. This password is a password which you have configured while creating your AWS account. Okay, now let me enter the password. And please do remember, do not share the password with anyone, because if anyone takes the password and create the resources in the AWS account, you will be billed actually. Uh, that's the thing actually. Okay, so you should not share the password with anyone. And I have configured my account with the MFA, multi-factor authentication. Okay, that is why it is asking me the multi-factor authentication details. Okay, if you have configured, you can enter that multi-factor authentication details. Okay, if you have not configured, you don't end up entering that multi-factor authentication details actually. You see that here, I have configured multi-factor authentication details. Let me click on submit. Okay. Uh, Let it log in. Okay. Once you have entered into the AWS account, see, if you have any questions, please do stop me and ask. Please do that. Okay. So once you have entered into the AWS account, this is the first page which you will be entering into. Will be the first page. Okay, please do remember that. And here, if you are entering for the first time, your services, recently visited services, will be empty here in this particular place. But in my case, I have entered into the AWS account multiple times. That is why I can see multiple services, right? And the cost usage will be shown it here. You can see that cost and usage. You see that here. Okay, how much amount of cost you have been costed. If you pay, it's okay. If you don't pay, they are going to wait for 3 months of duration, AWS people, and they are going to suspend your account. Okay, so that's it. They are not going to do anything. Okay, and you see that here. Let me go to my. This is one way you can check your cost. Okay, and you can also click on this place. You can see that here, this place, and go to billing and cost management. Go to billing and cost management. Okay, and it is going to that particular page. Let's wait. Let's wait for it to go. One second. Uh, okay, again, font to is something different. Okay, you see that this is the page that you are going to that you are going to see actually. You see that all the cost related. You can see that what's the cost in December for me, what's the cost in January for me, what's the cost in February, and what's the cost in March for me. You see that all these cost related activities. Okay, you see this as part of this one actually. Okay, okay. So now you can go to your bills. where your bills will be displayed actually. Okay, if anything that need to be paid, actually this month is I need to pay this much, and for which service in AWS, how much amount of the cost that has been you have been costed actually. You can see that for EKS cluster, I have been costed this much actually. Okay, $5. And for the odd other services which I have used, I will be costed this much actually. But please do remember, while you create your AWS account for the first time, first 1 year, it is going to be free. Okay. Now, let me show you how, if you create a AWS account for the first time, for the first 1 year, it is going to be free. Free does not mean all the services with any configurations are free in the AWS account. Okay. For the free tier of the AWS services, they have put some limit. Okay. You should fall under that limit so that the services they provide will be free for you. Okay. So that's what you need to understand. Okay. So suppose let's think you can create the EC2 machine with 4 GB RAM and 2 CPUs free of cost. Okay. If you create the same EC2 machine with 8 GB RAM and 2 CPUs, you will be costed because you will be limited. If you want to come under the free tier, you should be limited. You will be limited to use minimum amount of configurations only. If you are using high amount of configurations, AWS will be charging you. That's what you need to understand. Okay, what are the free limits available for us? Okay, let me go to your AWS free limits. Okay, you should go here. Free limits. Free time. Let me click on this. Where is that? Second, it should be free cloud services, 100% services. Ah, where is that? Where is that? Where is that? 1 second. It should be some website. Okay, let me go to this billing. Let me find. There should be some website for them. Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? Bills or the. Okay, it should be somewhere here. Yeah, you can see that free tire. Okay, click on this free tire. Okay, you see that here, free tire usage limits. Okay, you see that here. Amazon VPC. Okay, you can see that Amazon VPC service, it is current usage is 235 hours and the forecasted usage is 405 hours, and actual usage is this much and the forecasted usage is this much. And once again, there should be free tier services offers. Let me click on this one. Okay, it refers to the same page. Explorer perks. Okay, let me go to EC2 machines. Okay. Free tires. They changed their website. So okay, you can see that here, 750 hours per month for 12 months. It's a free tier. Okay, let me click on this. If you choose the EC2 machines, if you are using the EC2 machines, okay, so 750 hours per month for 12 months, it's free. Okay, you can see that here. It's not given in the detail, but on demand, but savings plan. Let's get started. Okay. Okay, it's not given in detail, but yeah, you are going to get a free tire limits. Actually, let me find that page slash free. Yeah, this page only. But some changes are being happened to this page. Okay, so I will be finding those Amazon Explore Solutions, Financial Services, Games, Explore our products. Amazon EC2. Let me go to S3 now. So you can go here to the S3, start using S3 for free with AWS free tier. And you can see that AWS free under the AWS free tier. As part of the AWS free tier, you can get started with Amazon S3 for free. Upon sign up, new AWS customer receives 5 GB of S3 storage in the S3 standard storage class. We have different storage classes in S3. So infrequent access. So some storage classes are there. As per the standard storage class, you can go store up to 5 GB of data for free. Okay, and you can get request can 2000 get put, and the copy, post, and list request can be free, and 100 GB of data transfer out each month is also free. Okay, so it has been changed something like this in the recent days actually. Okay, just seeing now me. Okay, so there will be some free time limits. If you want to understand if your service which you are using is under the free time limit or not, you need to go to this particular page, that is aws.com, aws.amazon.com/free. Okay, and you need to go to that particular service. Okay, so and you need to search what is a free tier that is available for that particular service. Actually, you can see that here. Free tier is this one. You can see that here. 750 hours per month for 12 months with AWS free tier limit is free if you choose this one, right? So that's how you need to deal with the free tiers. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, now we have entered into the AWS account here. Now you need to understand few things in the AWS account. AWS data centers are located across the world. Okay, it might be in the Mumbai region in India. It might be in the Hyderabad region. It might be in US East one, North Virginia. It might be in Ireland. So all the region where their data centers are located will be visible in this particular place. Okay, you can go to the AWS log UI page. Okay, here. When the slow. You can see that these are all the regions that we have our AWS data centers. Okay, particularly we are going to use the Mumbai region because it's near to me and the latency will be very less. Latency means time taken to respond. Okay, so will be very less. That's why I'm going to use the Mumbai region. And I need to create a EC2 machine. That means virtual machine in our case. So this one, okay, the virtual machine, this outer layer, this one. I need to create this virtual machine, this part. Okay, this one. Okay, how I can create? AWS provides some service known as EC2 service. EC2 is a service name where you can create a AWS account is a combination of multiple services. Okay, that's what you need to understand. You can use that services accordingly, you will be charged. Okay, so let me click on this EC2 service. Okay, this is where you can create your virtual machines or the virtual machines or whatever EC2 machines. Okay, once you have entered into this page, you need to go down in the left-hand menu. You need to go down, click on key pairs, click on key pairs in the network and security. Under the network and security, you need to click on key pairs. Now, once you have entered here, you need to click on create a key pair and you need to give a key pair a name, whatever you want to give, you can give. Okay. And you need to click on do not change any other option. You need to click on create a key pair. All these options, which I am showing it here, okay, I'm going to discuss in our AWS discussions, actually, AWS sessions, actually. Okay, please do not worry about that. Please, as of now, just do what I'm saying. I just click on create a key pair. A PEM file, a file with the .pem extension will be downloaded to your local machine. Okay, please do save that file in a safe place. Okay, that's the thing. Now, once the file is saved, you need to go to the instances section here. Go to the instances section. Here you can see that instances. Click on this instances and you need to click on launch instances. Click on launch instance. Okay. I hope you are observing. Okay. Once you go to this instances section, okay, as of now, a instance that this instance means virtual machine only. Instance means EC2 machine, instance means virtual machine, virtual server, whatever you call it as. Okay, you are creating an instance means you are creating a virtual machine, EC2 machine, whatever. It's all refers to the same meaning, right? So this is the instance. If you want to create a new instance, as of now, you will not be seeing any instance in your case because you have logged in for the first time. Okay, you need to click on launch instance. You need to click on launch instance, and you need to give the instance a name. Docker, let me give instance a name as Docker 2, something like this. And I am using Amazon Linux as an operating system in order to run inside the instance. You see that here. And you see that you need to select this AMI. Do not change this, but yeah, it is automatically selected. You see that it is for free tier eligible. This AMI which you are using here, it is free. Okay. Now, the instance type you need to choose, it is also automatically selected. If you uh, if you do not want to choose, do not touch it. And the instance type is t2.micro. That refers to if you create the instance with this instance type. Instance means virtual machine. If you create a virtual machine with this instance type, you are going to get one CPU and 1 GB memory for your virtual machine. And it is free tier eligible. That means it will be free for 1 year. Okay. That's what you need to understand. And you should fall under the free tier limits. That's what you need to understand. I am using this T2.micro machine, right? Now let me go here. In the previous step, before starting this creation of instance, you have created a key pair, right? And that key pair will be visible in this section. Okay. You need to click on select, and the key pair is going to be visible. You can see that here. The key pair is going to be visible here. Click on this key pair, right? And go to the down. And you should click on select an existing security group. You do not create a new security group. Okay. If you create also no problem, but do not create it. You select an existing security group. And you need to select a security group that is listed under it. Okay. And the amount of storage that you want to give for your EC2 machine is you need to configure here. I want to configure 10 GB of storage for my EC2 machine. Okay, for my virtual machine, I mean, I'm configuring, I'm entering 10 number here. Okay, there are types of storages actually, GP2, GP3, IO1, IO2. Okay, all these things we are going to see in the future classes actually. Okay, so you see that here, what you need to select, just you need to enter a name, and this is automatically selected Amazon Linux, and the AMI is automatically selected, instance type is automatically selected. You need to select a key pair, and you need to select an existing security group, and you need to enter the configuration like storage, the amount of storage, the amount of space that you want to give for your EC2 machine. You can see that free tier eligible customers can use up to 30 GB of EBS storage. 30 GB of storage, it's free. I'm only using 10 GB. That means I will not be charged, right? So yeah. Anyone have any questions regarding this? Anyone have any questions? All clear? The configurations that you need to select. I hope I am audible, right? Uh, am I audible? Hello, 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 hello.
Yes, yes, Shiva, you audible.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So, Shiva, just want to check, like, because I'm not sure because it's too fast for me. So, are we gonna discuss this in more detail?
Yes, definitely. We have AWS sessions. Okay.
Ah,
It's just Docker we are going to discuss actually. We are starting with Docker. This discussion will be more detailed in the AWS sessions. We need a virtual machine now in order to work with Docker. Only that part I'm showing how to create a virtual machine. That's it. All these things, why we are selecting this, what is this, what is this storage, what is this security group, what is this, all this, what is this VPC, we are selecting this VPC, and what is this instance types, and what is this AMIs, all these things will be explained in the AWS parts of like AWS sessions actually, not here. Okay. Is that fine?
yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Now we need an instance. That is why I'm showing you. Just select this one. That's it. Okay. As of now, do not worry about AWS part of side. Actually, just whatever I'm doing in AWS, just replicate that in your labs, and the same thing it is going to work for you. If it is done, if it does not work, please do give me the information. I'm there. Okay. So let me click on launch instance. You can click on this launch instance. Okay. Now, launching an instance means creating an EC2 machine or the server. Click on the instances, sorry, and refresh. You see that Docker 2 instance has been creating and it is in initializing state and it's a running state. You need to it should be something like this 2x2 health checks passed. Then only we can move further. Okay, so let's wait for it to come to 2x2 health checks passed. Please do not worry. We will be discussing all this AWS part in detail in our AWS sessions. Not here. It's not time to discuss that because we are starting with Docker. Okay. We will be definitely discussing all these things. It's required for you. Okay. I'm trying to add more and more real-time scenarios to the course actually. But it entirely depends on the understanding of you people. Please do understand if you have any questions when we discuss the real-time scenarios, please do ask because that's very important for your interviews. Okay, they are going to ask how you can communicate, how you can establish a communication between your application pod in the Kubernetes cluster to other AWS services in the AWS account, like AWS S3. So you should be in a place to answer those questions. Okay, so you will be getting those answers when you work on real time or when you do that particular activity uh, by your own actually. So that's such kind of scenarios we are going to see. Please replicate those scenarios in your labs. Okay, that's it. Okay, so you are going to get. Okay, so let me refresh. It is still initializing. Let it fully initialize. Sorry for that. You should wait. That's it. There. It is going to take some time to pass the health checks actually. So if you want, yeah, before that, why to sit idle? Okay, you see that if you click on this instance checkbox, okay, which you have created, you will be finding multiple things actually. The details of the information, the details of the instance, that is metadata of this instance actually, or the server virtual machine. You see that this virtual machine will be having public IP address. You see that this is the public IP address of this virtual machine. You can see that label also public IPv4 address, and this instance will be having the private IPv4 address. Okay, and this instance will be having some kind of instance ID. Okay, and you will be having something called monitoring tab here. Okay, other than this, yeah, all these things are need to be discussed in a separate sessions actually, not now. Okay, you will be having separate monitoring tab here. You see that how much amount of CPU has been consumed by the instance, and all these things you'll be seeing as part of this monitoring tab. As of now, it is empty because the instance is still initializing. And what are the network in bytes, network out bytes, network packets in, and the CPU credit balance, CPU, and the network packets out. All these things you can see as part of this. Okay, so we are going to, these are some of the metrics that is by default being fetched from this instance. Metrics we call it as CPU utilization, memory utilization, these are metrics. But in order to fetch the custom metrics, we are going to install something called CloudWatch agent inside this instance so that we can able to get the custom metrics. That means as of now, by default, AWS will not provide how much amount of disk space that is being used inside this instance. But in order to get that metric, in order to create a dashboard panel, something like this is a panel, right? It is a dashboard. You can see the graph, something like this here. Boom. Okay. In order to get such kind of custom metrics, we are going to install something called CloudWatch agent and fetch out the custom metrics and create a panel, something like this. And you can easily view the amount of space that is being used by this machine inside it, actually. So that's such kind of scenarios will be there. Please do remember that. And yeah, it has been 2x2 health checks passed. You can see that now the instance is properly initialized. You need to click on this checkbox and you need to click on connect. You need to enter into this instance. Now we have created the instance. Okay, instance means virtual machine, and you need to enter into this instance. As part of the diagram, let me go to the diagram. We have created this virtual machine, and you need to enter into this virtual machine in order to install Docker. Okay, Docker, you need to install. That is why you need to enter into this virtual machine in order to install Docker, right? So, in order to enter into this Docker machine, like virtual machine, you need to click on this checkbox, first that virtual machine to which you want to enter. Click on this checkbox and click on connect. Okay, you will be having the EC2 instance connect. There are multiple ways to connect to the instance. Okay, I am showing you the common way, which can be used by anyone, any person. I'm showing that way actually. Okay, EC2 instance connect is the option that you need to select. It is by default selected. If it is not selected, you need to select that, and you need to click on connect, and you will be connected to your EC2 machine. Okay, or the virtual machine or the virtual server. You see, it's establishing connection. Yeah, you see that here. This is the EC2 machine that you have connected. Let me check the font. It's proper. Yeah, it's proper. Okay, now sudo su hyphen. Okay, as of now, when you entered into the EC2 machine, you will be entering into EC2 hyphen user option. Okay, EC2 hyphen user. This is the username of the. See, while logging into your laptop, right? If you are using Windows laptop, if while logging into your Windows laptop, you will be entering the username, right? Username and password. Okay, so such in Linux also, this is the username with which you will be entering into this Linux machine initially. But in Windows also, you can switch between the users. Okay, you can create multiple users. You can sign out and log in with a different user also, right? Like that, in Linux also, you will be having multiple users. Okay, one of the user is root user, we call it as in Linux. Okay, one of the user is root user that we call it as in Linux. That your root user or the admin user or the root user will be having entire permissions that you can perform with that root user. Now, what I'm doing, I am switching into root user. Now, as I am there as part of the EC2 hyphen user. But when I use this command, I am switching to different user. Okay, that's what the Linux command, sudo su hyphen. Okay, so let me click on enter. Now, what is the root user I want to? I have switched to root. You can see that previously I am executing commands as part of the EC2 user. I am using I am at the EC2 user. But now when I use this, I entered into the root user. Right, that's what you need to understand. That's a simple Linux command. If you want to switch between the users, if you want to switch from the actual user to the root user, you need to use sudo su hyphen or sudo hyphen I, whatever command you use, you need to switch to root user. Now you have switched to root user. So now once you have switched to root user, you need to install Docker. How to install Docker? Now to install Docker, what you need to do? We have yum. Yum as which type of operating system is there as part of this? Which type of operating system is we have used in order to create if you click on launch instance, what is the operating system we have selected? Amazon Linux is the operating system. Amazon Linux comes with the package manager called Yum. Yum is a package manager. In Linux, we call it as package manager, with which you can install softwares on your Linux machine. Yum is a package manager. Install is the operation that you want to perform. Yum install Docker. Okay, Docker is a software that you want to install. Okay, Yum is a package manager. Install is the operation that you want to perform. Operation means installation, whatever operation. Okay, so Docker is a software that you want to install. Okay. So let me click on enter. Yum install Docker. Okay, now click on enter. Oh, sorry. You see that it is asking for you to confirm whether you want to install or not. Okay, it is asking for you the confirmation whether you want to install or not. Yes, Y or N. That means yes or no. Okay, just if you click on N, then that will not be installed. If you click on Y, the Docker is going to be installed. Okay, so click on Y.
Sir, can you increase the resolution of your screen? We are not able to see what is typed or what is displayed on your monitor.
Okay. You mean size? Okay, 1 second. Is that fine?
Bit more, sir.
Sir, or else instead of zooming this, like directly we can change the screen resolution itself from the settings.
Yeah, I need to check that 1 second. Let me clear the screen. Second. Settings. Because I'm not sure. Why I'm not changing is because I'm using the monitor in order to share my screen. If I change the resolution again, if I use a normal laptop to view this Chrome browser, it will be problem for me. What I want to do is instead of using this monitor, go back. Let me go here. Go this place. 1 second. 1 second. Instead of, let me stop sharing the screen and reshare the other screen that I have. Okay. Can you see my screen now properly or same?
That's okay now.
Okay. Yeah. Now that's where we have. Okay. If you see, we have we have installed Docker actually. What's the command we have used? Just for your information, as you people saying not able to see the screen properly. Yum install Docker. We have used this command to install Docker, and it will ask you for the confirmation, and then you need to click on Y. Okay, then the Docker is going to be installed. Right? That's the command that you need to use. Once this Docker is installed, you need to start the Docker. How you can start the Docker? System ctl start Docker. Okay, system ctl start Docker is a command that you need to use in order to start the Docker engine. Okay, you can see that Docker is being started. To verify whether the Docker is properly started or not, what you need to use? Systemctl, 1 second, systemctl status Docker. Okay, you see that here. In this place, you will be seeing running state, active and running state. That means Docker is properly running in our virtual machine or the EC2 machine, right? So that's how you install Docker as part of your virtual machines. Okay. Any questions anyone has, please?
Sorry, Shiva,
Installation of
I missed that command. Can you repeat?
which command? Installation of Docker command.
No. Just to verify whether the Docker has been installed or not.
Okay. 1 second. Let me repeat that. Systemctl status Docker is a command that you need to use, and this will list you whether the Docker is running or not. You see that here it is active and running state, and from when it is active and running also it is going to show you, right? That's fine.
Yes. So Shiva, are you providing the notes as well, or like do we have to maintain?
Yes. You are going to get the notes once you have registered, and you are going to get the drive link. Okay, and you will be. I will be uploading the notes in that particular place actually, in the drive. Okay, that's how we do. Okay, so that's how we do. Anyone have any questions regarding installation of Docker and the creation of EC2 machine and all the things what we have discussed for today's class? Okay. If no questions, let's deal with some of the terminologies that you need to know in case of Docker. You need to understand what is Docker host, what is Docker image, what is Docker container, Okay, what is Docker daemon? What is Docker registry? All these things and the types of Docker registry that you need to understand actually first initially. Okay, so let's deal with those. Okay, let's deal with those. I'm going to give some of the examples so that with which you can understand clearly actually. So let me move this pane to this particular screen. Actually, okay. Okay, let me remove this which I created here. Okay, let me write it here, terminologies of Docker. Okay, so the first terminology is going to be okay. The first terminology that is going to be, what is Docker host? Docker host. What is Docker host? Docker host means the place where you have installed is called Docker host. You can see that we have installed this Docker. One second. We have installed this Docker on this EC2 machine, right? Okay, let me decrease the font. Okay, we have installed Docker in this particular EC2 machine, that is Docker 2. This Docker 2 machine is nothing but Docker host. Okay, just it's a name which we give, sorry, to the machine on which we have installed Docker. Okay, Docker host is the server on which we have installed Docker actually. So let me put that point here. Docker host is the server on which we have installed Docker, Docker engine. Okay, so that's the thing. Docker engine means Docker software, whatever you call it as. So as of now, we have installed Docker on our virtual machine or the EC2 machine, whatever virtual server, whatever you think, that's the same meaning. So that EC2 machine, virtual server is called a Docker host, right? That's the thing that you need to understand. The next part, what is Docker image? Docker image. Okay, let me take an example for this in order to understand you people. Okay, suppose you if you want to play any game. Okay, suppose you want to play any whatever the game you want. Okay, you need to play any game on your laptop. What you need to do? You need to go to the internet and you need to download .exe file of that particular game to your local machine, right? So what you need to do, you need to download .exe file of that particular game into your local machine, right? So that .exe file which you have downloaded into your local machine, that contains game software it contains, but game it not yet started. Okay, until and unless you double click that .exe file, the game will be started actually. Okay, I hope you got the point. Okay, the game, if you want to play any game, what you need to do, you need to download a .exe file, whatever the file it is, .exe file or whatever, to your local machine. Okay, that local machine downloaded file contains the game, but it is not in a running state. Game is there, game software is there in that, game application is there in that, but it is not in a running state. The same refers to the Docker image. Okay, Docker image is a binary in which our application is present. Whatever the application you take Amazon.in application, you take Flipkart.com application, you take Redbus, or whatever the application you create on your own, you take that one. Okay, it contains the application, but not in a running state. That's a Docker image. Docker image is a binary in which your application is present, but not in a running state. That's a Docker image actually. So Docker image in which your application is present, but not in a running state. Okay, so that's what the Docker image is. Actually, I hope you got the point. Anyone have any questions regarding these two terminologies? Any questions, please? Okay. The next terminology that you need to understand is Docker container. Okay, let me go here. Okay, Docker container. The running state of the Docker image is called Docker container. The same example, let's take. You have downloaded a file, binary file, .exe file from the internet in order to play a game. Then what you're going to do in order to play a game, you need to double click that .exe file. Then only they are going to start your game, right? The game is going to be started. In the same way, you are going to use this Docker image in which your application is present but not in a running state, and run it as and you are going to execute it using some commands. You are going to execute it. Then that becomes a Docker container. That means as a whole point, the running state of our Docker image is nothing but a Docker container. Okay, that's what you need to remember. Okay, running state of Docker image is Docker container. Okay, something like that you need to remember. Okay, the next one.
So Shiva, like
Yeah.
the single Docker image, we can have multiple containers, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. The next part is Docker daemon. Okay, Docker daemon. Okay. What is Docker daemon? Docker daemon is the one which will be running in the background on our Docker host, which will be continuously listening for our Docker commands. You can see that systemctl. Okay, CTL. What is the daemon in the operating system terminology? Okay, what is the daemon? Daemon means some background process. Okay, something that is not visible, something that is running in the background. Okay, systemctl status Docker. Okay, you see that? Okay, system. Okay, sorry, that's the wrong spelling. Okay, systemctl. You see that there is something running in the background, that is Docker daemon running in the background. Okay, which is continuously listening for our Docker commands. Let me type some of the Docker command, Docker images. Okay, this is the Docker command. When you type this Docker command, Docker daemon is listening that and performing the necessary activity. Okay, on behalf of you, right? So Docker daemon is the one which is continuously running in the background, which is continuously listening our commands and performing the necessary actions on behalf of you, actually. So Docker daemon, you see that here, Docker daemon is message. You can see that message is this much in this running. Actually, all these logs are generated by that component only. Okay, so Docker daemon, it is a background process which is continuously running and listening for our Docker commands. Okay, that's a Docker daemon. Okay, you need to understand that one. Okay. The next part that you need to understand is Docker registry. Docker registry. What is Docker registry? Docker registry. Okay. So Docker registry means the place, suppose you have created an application, your organization, your company has created an application. Okay, that application has to be converted into Docker image. Okay. Oh, sorry. That application has to be converted into Docker image. That Docker image, once application is converted into Docker image, that Docker image has to be stored in some place. That place is called Docker registry. Okay. So the place where we store the Docker images is nothing but a Docker registry, the place where we store Docker images is Docker registry. Okay, there are two types of registries available. Public Docker registry, public one, and the private ones. Okay, if you store your Docker images in the public Docker registry, they will be publicly available. That means anyone in the world can use your Docker image. Okay, so publicly available. You store your Docker images in the public Docker registry. So the image which you have stored in the public Docker registry will be publicly available, can be used by anyone in the world actually. Okay, if you store your Docker image in the private Docker registry, that private Docker image, that image will be only used by you or the people who has the permissions to access that private Docker registry. Privately available, PRIVATELY, available. So if you store the Docker image in the private Docker registry, that Docker image will be used by you or the people who has the access to that particular registry, Docker registry, or the your organization people, whatever. It's privately available. Okay, anyone in the world cannot use that until they have the permissions to use this private Docker registry. Okay, so those are the terminologies that you need to understand before going further. The one more terminology is Docker client. What is Docker client? Docker client is the one on which you are executing Docker commands. Okay, so a Docker client. Let me put it here. Docker client. What is Docker client? Docker client is the place where you are executing Docker commands. You see that I am executing Docker commands as part of the terminal of this EC2 machine, or as part of the terminal of this EC2 machine. This terminal of the EC2 machine is nothing but a Docker client. Okay, the place where we execute, the place where we execute Docker commands is a Docker client. Okay, so you need to understand these terminologies before dealing with the Docker. Okay, before dealing with the Docker. Anyone have any questions regarding these terminologies?
Yes, Shiva. So regarding the Docker registry, so like
Mhm.
how we create this private or public, like is this part of the configuration, like while we setting up the Docker image, or like how we do that?
I did not get you. Can you repeat that?
So for this Docker registry, you said there are two
Mhm.
options, right? One is public or private. Second is right.
Okay.
So how will create that, like because is this part of configuration, like while we setting
No,
up?
it's not part of configuration. You need to create manually by going to the hub.docker.com or the AWS ECR. It's a service that are provided by the cloud providers. You need to go there and create that. Let me show you. Okay, if you go here, go to ECR. ECR is a place, ECR is a service that is provided to us by AWS where you can store images privately. Okay, so if you go to this ECR, you need to go here. Let me click, you should click on create a repository, Docker registry or repository. You need to give a repository name. Okay, test. It's a mutable or immutable. We are going to see all these options, but yeah, just give a name of the repository, Docker repository, and let me click on create. This is the repository that you have created actually. It's a private repository, you see that here, because I have created a private repository, a private registry. Under that repository, we have this is a private repository. If you want to create a public repository, you can create under this repositories actually. So this is not a configuration. You need to go here and create it. Have you got that?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Shiva.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, please do remember, today is the last demo class. Uh, if you are interested, please go ahead and register for the course. And that's a session for today, actually. Let me copy the details which they have shared to me and put it in your chat. And please use these details for registering this course. And if you are interested, please go ahead and register. And yeah, that's a session for today. And I hope if you have any questions, you can ask. If not, we can close the session and we can meet in the tomorrow's session. If it's the last demo class, you are going to get a new, as is a last demo class, you are going to get a new link in order to join tomorrow once you have registered. Okay, that's what I can say. Okay, that's the thing. Any questions anyone have, please? I hope the sessions are informable. Like you got some information or some knowledge out of these demo sessions. Okay. If you have any comments, you can put those comments. Or any suggestions that we can go to make this course better, you can also mention those. Anyone have any suggestions regarding the course content or the explanation or whatever? You can put those questions so that we can help you in making the course much better, actually. If it's not. Okay. Okay, thanks for joining. And tomorrow we are going to see the Docker architecture, the next class, and we are going to see something called some of the Docker commands, and we'll be moving towards something like that, to forward something like that, actually. Okay. Thanks for joining. I'll meet you in the next class. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.